Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the United States of America. Short track, Sunday, big noon racing. Welcome to the Richmond Raceway, round number 19 in Stock Car World Cup 5. This is the Virginia's for Lovers 400. It was wild, it was crazy, it was rapid at Monza last Sunday morning. And it's going to be another absolute banger race here today. The Richmond Raceway, this 3/4 mile oval, one of the oldest running short tracks on the calendar. It's been on the calendar now for all 5 seasons of Stock Car World Cup. It's produced some instant classics. It's produced some surprise upsets. Looking at Brendan Wilmington getting his first career win here last season. And today is the place host to round 19 of the calendar. As we get started on our little SEC swing here, we're at Richmond this week, Bristol next Friday night, and then Atlanta Motor Speedway back on AG, the channel. It's going to be a great 3-week string here before we head up to Pocono, and then back down to New Smyrna for the All-Star Showdown. The championship fight after Max Davis's 3rd win of the season continues to heat up. It's Braden Perez leads by 42 points over Van Gisbergen. Pato O'Ward has jumped Ludovic Charette. Blaine Keys up to 3rd in the points. Ludovic Charette is 4th in the points. Starts on the pole today, though, so is the tide turning back in her favor. Blaine Keys 5th in points. Connor Zilic comes into this race 6th. Cam Waters, David Malukas all jump spots after last week. Max Davis is up 3 more positions, folks. He is only 158 points out of his championship lead. He continues to claw his way into this. I'm not saying, folks, that Max Davis is going to win the championship, but in the last 7 races, only one driver out, or it's been Braden Perez, Max Davis have won 5 times in the last 7 races. The only 2 other drivers to win have been Logan Williams, who's Braden Perez's teammate, and Scott McLaughlin, who won last Thursday, or 2 weeks ago at Kansas. So it is going to be interesting. And then you see down there 12th and 13th in the points, Drew Webb and Matt Tuck, both starting in the top 10 today, but both starting on the outside lane. They are going to need good races here today to get themselves back into this championship hunt and to get back into the constructors hunt, because Red Bull Verstappen has pulled 30 points with this hot streak they are on over Grattan Autosport. They're now 30 points up, 455 points with 4 wins in the last 7 races over Grattan, or 3 wins in the last 7 races over Grattan Autosport. And Grattan Autosport is now only 1 point ahead of Team Penske Williams, who's on an absolute heater. RFK Racing is 4th in the constructors, 5th is Action Express, 6th is United Autosport. You can see the gaps between the rest of these top few are starting to open up a little bit here. But it's been a struggle for Grattan Autosport. They've only put 1 car on the podium since the last time they won a race back at Rockingham. That was 10 rounds in the championship ago. We've seen David Malukas, Van Gisbergen, Perez, Davis, McLaughlin, Williams have all won since then. We've seen William Sawalch has been on the podium twice since the last time our pole sitter, Matt Tuck. Think about that. William Sawalch has been on the podium twice. It's been a weird run of races here for the Grattan Autosport quartet. Can today sort it out? Can they get it back on track? We're about to find out, because it's going to get very interesting here today with Ludovic Charette and Matt Tuck on the front row here in round number 19 of the championship. This is a huge day for both of them to start up front here. They both need to capitalize. Tuck more than Charette, but they both need big days here. And the 2 star power drivers at Grattan Autosport need to step up to the plate. Christian Lundgaard, a surprise P3 in qualifying, but we know this Pacific Racing team is good on the short track, so watch out for him in this race. Scott McLaughlin, this season's coming back around here, 22nd in the points. Not fantastic, not what we thought, but if he can move his way up through the championship fight here, maybe get into the top 15, he might be able to help Hendrick Motorsports jump a few of these teams in the constructors. Row 3 is our Tracker Boat 600 winner Logan Williams. Outside of him, Alex Below. Row 4, championship point leader Braden Perez looking for a big day today. Outside of him, Drew Webb. Row 5, a pair of Hondas in Leah Block and Corey Himes. Row 6 is Jack Haas and William Byron. A great qualifying effort for Hendrick Motorsports. Outside of Zilic, can they step up to the plate today? Row 7 is Nicholas Sambadio and Thomas Troxel. Row 8 is Pat O'Ward and Stuart Grattan. Row 9 is Kyle Kirkwood and Blaine Keys. Not a good qualifying effort for him. Nathan Stapleton knows how to get it done on a short track. Outside of him, the hometown hero, Danny Hamlin. Row 11 is David Malukas and Justin Mayer. Row 12 is the RFK teammates of Joseph Newgarden and Cam Waters. They need big days here to move their way through the field. Row 13 is Max Davis and Chase Harris. Row 14 is Shane Van Gisbergen. Gotta be careful moving your way through the field here today. And outside of him is Jamie Chadwick, who had a fantastic run at Monza. Row 15 is Caleb Rose and Tom Blomqvist. Row 16 is Dorian Pinn and Tyler Reddick. Row 17 is Chase Elliott and Rokel Dorn. Row 18 is Ritomo Miata and William Sawalich. Row 19, Connor Zillage has got to work his way through the field here today, and Ryan Blaney to his inside. Row 20 is Mick Schumacher and Kyle Larson. Row 21 is Nathan Smith and Matthew Huber. But here we go as the cars roll off the grid for a short track Sunday afternoon party here. Everybody gets off the grid cleanly. It's all eyes on the front two here, ladies and gentlemen. It's Ludovic Charette, Matt Tuck on row number 1. Row 3 is Logan Williams. Row 4 is Braden Perez and Drew Webb. That is 5 of the 6 drivers battling for the lead in the constructors. 30 points is the gap between Grattan Autosport and Red Bull Verstappen. The Red Bulls, and if you look not too far back, Stuart Grattan's up there as well. So it's a constructors fight here. Let's get ready to rumble here, ladies and gentlemen. In round 19 of Stock Car World Cup 5, here we go, up through the gears. Let's go racing from Richmond, Virginia. Oh, there we go! It's already, we got Blow is around. Block's gonna move back up into the field. Oh no! Everybody else looks like they got away clean. Oh my goodness. I think everybody else got through that clean. No issues here for the rest of the field. It looks like Alex Palou off the bumper of somebody. I'm not entirely sure who. They come back around. They come back around here. Christian Lundgaard got a jump on the start on Matt Tuck in the 54. Those Pacific Racing cars. Ooh, Scotty Mack is staying out, rolling the dice on the strategy. That's an interesting choice. I wonder if it was just because he bet. Oh, Max Davis is doing the same as well. We know Davis's team loves to roll the dice. Oh boy, lap number 1. We didn't even make it down the back straightaway. We're already getting some action here going in the Virginias for Lovers 400. McLaughlin said, I want to jump these Grattan cars. It's only a half a lap on the tires. I like this strategy by the 5 and the 12. You're not really gaining a whole ton here. Fuel only, 54, fuel only, fuel only, fuel only. Uh-oh. Perez. Slow stop for the 69. They had to hold him in his box there, so everyone comes down, just a splash of fuel. It looks like just a splash, 0.25, 0.22. Yeah, nobody really taking a long pit stop there. Surprise Alex Blow. I mean, Flo didn't hit anything, so slow stops to the 15 and the 28 as well. All right, let's get this round back up here. Side by side on screen here, we're going to take a, we're not going to go to break because there's no reason to go to break. So, it's McLaughlin, it's Davis, it's Charette, it's Lundgaard, Williams, Tuck. That is 1 win on the season, 3 wins. Ludovic Charette only has 2 wins, which feels like a down year for her, but she does have 8 top 10s and 5 top 5s. Looking to get back on track here today. Braden Perez is a big loser on that pit stop cycle. He's going to come out behind Shane Van Gisbergen in 21st position. Keep an eye on the 48 of Connor Zillage moving his way through the field. 34th at the moment. Did not get any damage in that lap 1 till so. Oh no, we got Miata and Elliott are on pit road still. Oh no. I don't know if there was, I see damage on the 15. Not really sure what's going on with those two, but they are currently out of contention here as we get back up through the gears. It's going to be Scott McLaughlin leading us away. Max Davis, 3 wins on the season, going for win number 4, which would be an all-time single-season record and would put him into the championship hunt. Oh, here he goes. Davis in the 12 to the inside of McLaughlin down the back straightaway here at Richmond. He's got the horsepower advantage on that 5. And he's just going to power it down to the inside. That 12 is going places. Max Davis to the point here early on in the going at Richmond. And it's a long race here today. I mean, you got to be very careful. Oh, did somebody else come down pit road? Or is that was just Total Miata coming out of his pit box? And Elliott being held for longer stops, looks like. Webb is down to the inside. Gratton's to the inside. Keys is on the inside. Perez is on the inside. So a bunch of drivers we expect to move forward. Also, Malukas, we might see some big names here. This might turn into a big name party up here very, very quickly. When you've got San Benito, Block, Kirkwood, Haas. Some good cars. Oh, Elliott, please don't cause an accident, buddy. Please don't cause an accident. Merges back in. A little bit of a slide in front of his Andretti Global teammate, but he's not going to hold Kirkwood up too much. Tuck is back to the inside now, and he's moving, but here we go for the lead. It's Scott McLaughlin coming alive here in the second half of this season. Won the first Kansas doubleheader race. He had a good weekend at Kansas. It was not like he just swooped into it. Like, that 5 had a great strategy, and then he had great pace. But then them going side by side. Davis to the top side of the racetrack. And this opens the door for Matt Tuck in the 54. Here comes Tuck in the 54, looking to get back in the winner's circle here today. And Ed Grattan Autosports, long drought that they've been on. Haven't won since 10. It's been 10 races since the last time we saw a Grattan Autosport car end up in victory lane. It's been since Rockingham. I mean, we've been all over the world since then. Williams to the inside of Charette, Kirkwood, Lundgaard, Stapleton, Lucas is working his way forward. Elliott's a lap down. Webb to the inside of Byron. We got Award. Perez is trying to force the issue there with Newgarden and Keys. Has to be careful here not to end up in an accident. Keys going to get a little too much on the outside, but Perez is following Newgarden there. Nice and close to the back of the 60. Webb settles down at the bottom of the racetrack. Now it's McLaughlin all under attack here from Matt Tuck in the 54, who started in P2, got jumped early on the start by Christian Lundgaard. There's something to note here. These tires, the tire wear is very aggressive here at Richmond. We brought all the tire manufacturers. They bring a softer tire. They're regulated to bring softer compound tires to these short tracks. I mean, all across the season, we've seen some much higher than normal tire deg as the series has worked with the tire OEMs. You got Michelin's on the 54, Goodyear's on the 5. I know you got some Dunlops in the field. A few of the Tricon runs Bridgestones, I believe. There goes Tuck in the 54 to the inside of the racetrack. Down in 3 and 4 slide jobs in there. Tuck won here back in season number 2. Earl Bamber won the first trip here. Tuck won in season 2. Perez won in season 3. Last season it was Brendan Wilmington scoring his first career win, which, by the way, in a couple weeks' time, punched himself, Brendan Wilmington, with that win. Got himself a ticket to go to the New Smyrna Celsius All-Star Showdown. So if you want to see something exciting, Brendan Wilmington coming off of his couch to race it up with the big guns. Yeah, that's going to be a fun party down at New Smyrna Beach for the All-Star Showdown. It's Logan Williams looking very strong here early. Davis also looks strong. Nathan Stapleton, by the way, shout out to him. We know he's an experienced short track racer. Pontiacs have really struggled the second half of this season. I mean, we talk about it, right? SVG, since that win in Talladega. Pontiac's only bright spot, really, has been Scott McLaughlin and Connor Zillich. It's been a weird run for Shane Van Gisbergen. It's been a weird run for Shane Van Gisbergen. Just has not had the pace the past couple of weeks. Kirkwood today inside of Stapleton. So did Byron. Lucas, Block, Lundgaard's hanging around up here. Nicholas Sambadillo's had a great second half of the season. I know he's still mired down in the points pretty deeply. 30th in points. But we've seen him up front in a lot of races. We've seen him up front, we've seen him in some laps, we've seen him contend for podiums. Doesn't always get the finishes, but I think if you're Otter Island Motorsports, a guy that maybe you thought about might have to be on the chopping block for this team heading into the off-season, I think he's turned his season around. Again, I know he's 30th in points, but he's back to leading the team. You know, this has been Chase Harris's team really for the past 2 seasons. This year it's been Sam Badillo is carrying the torch to try and move this team forward, and he's moving it inside a block. who's had a nice sophomore season, or first official full rookie season. Williams on Charette. It's just like the Kansas doubleheader all over again. Charette on Williams. 51-33. And it's going to be the 51 to the inside of the racetrack here. Davis, Byron, Kirkwood, Stapleton, Malukas, San Medeo clears block, takes Lundgaard with him. I think Perez is going to have the door open here. He's working his way quickly back through the field. I'm interested to see if Elliott is going to be able to work himself back on the lead lap because, oh, he's 3 laps down. It's not going to happen probably without some yellows. Drew Webb is losing some pace here. He's 23rd at the moment. Pato Ward is slipping backwards. Connor Zilisch, big disappointment here of the day. Connor Zilisch is not able to move that car through the field. He is way out of position there in the back of the pack. He's got Harris, Huber, Blaney, Smith, Below, Chadwick, Pin all around him right now, but it's not working out here early for Connor Zilisch. Came into this race looking to have a shot to move up in the championship hunt here, but 110 points back, not looking too good for him right now. Someone it is looking good for is the 54 Matt Tuck, and it's looking better for Grattan Autosport. I mean, you see Stuart Grattan has the second fastest lap of the race. And as these tires start to wear, we're already at over a half a second tire fall off. As these tires start to wear, I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see how the track position game plays into today. It's going to be interesting to see if that pit stop with the leaders pitting on lap 1 and Davis and McLaughlin staying out that extra lap. It's going to be interesting to see if they end up essentially restarting on lap 5 on the road. If they end up running 5 laps longer, that could be huge late in the going, by the way. With how heavy the tire wear is today, do not count that out. It's a long race here. It's a lot of action to happen. Stuart Grattan is moving his way through the field. He is in the 12th position behind Christian Lundgaard, Nicholas San Medeo. Braden Perez inside of the block. Had his run stalled out there. Block's been a little tricky for him to pass, but that 69 is still moving forward. Van Gisbergen is moving backwards. He's now actually gotten passed by Drew Webb. So Van Gisbergen continues to struggle here in the second half of the season. As Perez continues to come alive, the RFK teammates just, I mean, to their credit, they always run with each other. So it's like, it's one of those interesting things. I feel like the RFK cars, if one's good, they're both good. If one's off, they're both off. They never, like, I mean, there's 9th and 7th in the points, separated by only 40 points. Waters is 9 top 10s. Newgarden is 8 top 10s. Now, let's settle into the fun part of this race. It's going to be this long. Probably we're going to get a long green flag run here, I feel like. Slower cars are coming off of 4. So Tuck's got the field at about, the back of the field at about half track. Laughlin, Charette, Williams, Byron, Davis, Kirkwood, Stapleton, Malukas, Lundgaard's up to 10. He got by San Medeo, took Stuart Grattan with him. Going to take Braden Perez with him. Now, if Drew Webb could find his way up here, I mean, this is so close in the constructors right now. Between, really, Red Bull Verstappen, Grattan, and Penske Williams. Penske Williams kind of dropping the ball today with Ryan Blaney's performance. If Drew Webb could get up here, they might have a shot to maybe gain a few points on Red Bull Verstappen. But they also might need some things to go their way. In the meantime, though, Tuck continues to pull away here. Haven't seen the 54 really show any pace the second half of the season. It's been a weird stretch of races, folks. If we go back to Montreal, so we went to Montreal, Braden Perez won. Max Davis then racked off back-to-back wins. Then we went to Road America, and Braden Perez won again. Scott McLaughlin won one of the Kansas races. Logan Williams won the other Kansas race. And then we went across the Atlantic Ocean to Monza, and Max Davis won again. So you notice the pattern there. It's been Max Davis and Red Bull have combined to win 6 of the last 7 races here on this in this Stock Car World Cup 5. I mean, that's a shutout for Grattan Autosports. Ludovic Charette's the only one of them to get on the podium in the past couple of weeks. You know, I mean, again, Red Bull Verstappen, they're 30 points up in the Constructors. That's not a race. That's more than a race. That's not like 10 points so you can overcome that in a race. That's 30 points is a significant. It requires the two Red Bull cars to have a bad day for Grattan Autosport. Ooh, Zillage is starting to work his way through some of this traffic. So he got out of that blockade that he was in. And we're going to see if this 48 has any pace in it on the long run. Might need to try some strategy game, play something out of the 5 cars playbook. Drew Webb is working his way through the field. He's back up to 19th. It's been a struggle also for Drew Webb. I don't know. The whole second half of this season has just been so topsy-turvy. We see Byron got by Williams. So Byron's having a good day here today. Hendrick does have some pace in his cars today, clearly. See if we find a good battle here. Let's keep a look here on David Lucas. Let's watch this battle. We got 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th all lined up here. Yeah, it's a weird battle right now in the championship. It's been so nip and tuck. You have those 13 drivers who have stayed within 200 points of each other. Well, it was about 11. And then Logan Williams and Max Davis have gotten on hot streaks the past couple of weeks. You know. So we've seen some hot streaks out of some people. I think Brandon Perez has emerged as the threat right now to win the championship, and I think this title runs through him. Given that we have a road course down the stretch of we have Bathurst and Watkins Glen down the stretch, but this Grattan goes to the inside of David Lucas. So the gelled wet machine there, Stuart Grattan, not a great season by any means. 3 top 10s, a top 5, but it feels like again same thing as some of these other guys. You know, we talk about the Stapletons, Nathan Smiths. We've seen Grattan have some nicer runs over the second half of this season than he did at the first. Ooh, oh, let's watch this for a little bit here. We're at about a second fall off here over this 40 lap run essentially. And you see Charette has caught Scott McLaughlin. Charette has caught Scott McLaughlin. And Byron is also catching Shrek. So I mean, we thought it was going to be a Red Bull versus Grattan. It's Grattan versus HMS right now in the top 4. But I mean, then you got Red Bull, Penske. So you got some of the powerhouses up here. Stuart Grattan continues to work his way through the field. Hey, Brendan Wilmington won this race last season. Stuart Grattan's turn to get a victory. Matthew Huber down pit road. His pit stop cycle starting here. Take a run down through the field here. Is anybody else coming down the pit lane yet? Nope, Huber just going a little early there. Maybe had an issue. Maybe had a tire go down. Maybe he's a little low on fuel. Crazy timeline to think of. I mean, think about this. Top 5 right now. We've got 12 career wins. Scott McLaughlin's got 4. Ladovic's got 12. Byron's got 10. Williams now has 2. Davis is 4. Gotta give him his credit. You got some wins have stacked up here in the front of this field. And Matt Tuck is catching Thomas Troxel. There's Thomas Troxel off of turn 2. There's Matt Tuck going into turn 1. So whenever this pit stop cycle starts here, in the next 10 laps, we are going to start to see this action pick up down pit road. And by the way, we're over a second tire fall off, so the undercut's going to be massive. It's going to be absolutely massive. And that's why I keep saying, if Davis and McLaughlin roll the dice and stay out an extra 3-4 laps to offset the caution laps that they ran under yellow there, oh boy, we're going to be in for a show. Sawalich on Lundgaard. William Sawalich, Rookie of the Year contender with 2 podiums. I mean, Liam Block is the front runner for Rookie of the Year. Liam Block, obviously front runner for Rookie of the Year, currently the highest rookie in the points at 7. Actually, no. William Sawalich after that podium in Monza jumped Liam Block in the Rookie of the Year fight, which goes to just whoever is the highest place rookie at the end of the season. So essentially, it's a battle between Sawalich and Block, because Rogel Dorn is not going to catch them, barring an insane Hall of Fame run. Tom Blomquist doesn't have a shot to catch him. Alex blows down pit road, so I think we're starting pit stops here soon. Look at how much faster Matthew Huber is in the one. I mean, the tire difference here, the tire fall off is going to be massive here today. Oh, Tuck and Charette down pit road. Let's get the party started. Got to be careful not to speed here. This Richmond pit lane can catch people out. So 48 laps here. That should put us good as a two-stop race. We'll stop now, and then we'll stop around lap 90, and then be good to the end. Now, the caveat to McLaughlin and Davis staying out way longer is they could be very behind, depending how this cycles out. You don't want to be staying out too long at a track like Richmond and potentially run into a yellow, although if you're Scott McLaughlin and Max Davis, the way your luck's been lately, I mean, maybe, why not? It seems like you can't go anything wrong there, but Ken's got to be careful not to merge into somebody and cause an accident. Elliott, Webb's down pit road, Zilish is down pit road. Tuck is clear of Charette by a mile at the moment. Oh my goodness. So Williams assumes the lead. He's staying out longer. These Grattan cars are running it kind of short compared to some of these top four. That could be a little risky. So Wallace now pits. Oh, Ward comes down pit road. So we're running the strategy. Ooh, Tuck's got to be careful here. Byron's out in third, essentially third. All right, is Williams coming down pit road this time? No, he stays out again. Ooh, I don't know how I like this. I hope we're not in from Minnesota where the tire wear is so high that the leaders... I mean, the tire fall off here, though, is massive. If you're Logan Williams, you're staying out here on... And Logan Williams is almost 2 seconds. Is a second and a half slower a lap staying out right now. I don't know if that's going to work for him. If this is a 2-stop versus a 3-stop... Oh, no! Oh, no! No, 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 no! Oh, every time. Every time. Every time. I hate short track racing sometimes, folks. And that is not what the 54 and the 51 wanted to see. It is what Max Davis and Logan Williams wanted to see, and Stuart Grattan and David Malukas. So, we got a couple big winners out of that. But that just blew up in the face of the 51 and the 54 and the 51. They have to be absolutely livid after that. Because you might just need to come back down pit road now and pit. You might just need to come and pit again because of how much the tire deck is here. Oh. Well, the Red Bull's string of fortune continues to go their way. Max Davis's string of fortune continues to also go his way. Cannot miss on a single strategy call for the past 6 weeks, it feels like. They've just been on their A-game here. Perez a little bit of a slow stop, I think. God, that 69 is not having a fun time on pit road here today. Alright, well, give us a few moments here. We're going to have to send all these cars down pit road, obviously, and everyone is going to come down pit road and take their stop, so we'll have to get the field sorted out. Should take a couple laps, and then we'll get back to the action here from Richmond. So you're going to watch Ryan Blaney come off of pit road here, and I don't think this is going to work out too good for him because he's going to squeeze into the 75 of Harris. Good Lord, what a vicious hit there for Harris and for Blaney. And then I saw William Byron. I think he might have just been down on the lawn, but yeah, he went sliding there, trying to avoid that. But that's a huge shot for Blaney, and that brings out our second caution of the day here at Richmond. Well, here we go. Here, we're going to get the restart here as Otomo Miata clears the field here. It's Williams, Davis, Malukas, Grattan, Kirkwood, Reddick, Samadeo, Keys, Waters, Hamlin, Chadwick, Lungard, Smith, Perez, Heim, Block, Pin. Oh, my bad. Perez, Block, Troxel. We got a couple lappers in there, and then it's going to be fun to see if Tuck, Walfman, and Charette can find their way back to the front of this field. Oh, Nathan, somebody's down pit road. Uh-oh, 3 wide here. That's going to be dangerous, gang. Work that out, work that out. Oh! Oh, my goodness. Uh-oh. Charette, you don't want to be there right now. Miladovich, Charette. Tuck is getting passed by McLaughlin. Up front, it is Williams. It is Davis. It is Stewart. Grattan has gotten his way up to 3rd. So the 23 has got some pace here today. We're halfway home here in the Virginias for Lovers 400. Lane Keys 3 wide. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's going to think about it. Down to the inside of Reddick and Kirkwood. Oh, Stewart just let up the racetrack's going to hold up to 29. Opens the door to 27, 77. Denny Hamlin up here. Max Davis. The door is open for his 4th win of the season, which would be a single season record, and he'd be the first driver to ever win back-to-back races twice and in the same season, which is an unbelievable thing to think about. My goodness, when you think about the fact that Ladovic, Schreck, and Matt Tuck have 25 career wins. Oh my, careful gang. Oh, is Harrisburg back on? Harrisburg's back onto the track. It's gonna give, oh, that's not good. Is there an accident? Okay, there wasn't an accident. Okay, I was worried there for a second. Tuck is back to the bottom of the racetrack, but he's got some slower cars in between him that he's got to work his way through. Davis and Williams about to be side by side here. Davis in the 12, and Blake Keys has found his way up to 3rd. Here comes Denny Hamlin though to spoil the party for Keys, going for his first win in 4 seasons basically. I wish we could go split screen right now. There's so much action happening around this racetrack here. This 3/4 mile oval, Richmond International Raceway. To the inside, there goes Max Davis in the 12. He's gonna get clear. Is this his shot to get clear of Williams? He had it a few laps ago, but the slow car of Harrisburg on the racetrack kind of had to make him slide up to not hit the 75. And this time he goes back to the point here. Fastest lap of the race is now Denny Hamlin, by the way. So that's 77 cars come to life here late in the going. Got some track position. Now we're going to have a cycle of pit stops still left in this race. So don't count out somebody. You know, that 54-51, while they got screwed over by that caution, if the race goes green and you get a shot at the undercut, don't count out the 54 and the 51. We've seen crazier things that happen here in Stockholm World Cup in just the past few races, let alone, is this a pit bull? You got a pit bull on that, we do. 75 is coming down pit road. That's going to be the end of Chase Harris's unfortunate day here. Tuck's working his way. He's back around the slow cars, so he's now up to Liam Block at 15. Sam and Leo Perez are up in front of him next. We got a good indicator what kind of speed in this pool. Tyler Reddick got by Hamlin, and so did Denny Hamlin, or so did Blake Keys. Reddick, who once had 3 wins in a season back in the Tricon 11, DeWalt 11. That was a fun season for Tricon. They had Reddick, they had Blake Keys. There's a lot of things that went right for them. Now since that happened, I would say it's safe to say, with all due respect to Tricon, absolutely nothing has gone right for them, which is unfortunate, but Reddick, we thought season 3, he had 3 wins in the first 11 races. He won his first race at Willow Springs. He won his second race at Atlanta, and then he won at Talladega, and he hasn't won a race since. it, but I don't know if we can all pin it on Reddick because Tricon's been such a disaster. We've seen him at Team 29 United this year replacing Ryan Blaney, and he's 20th in points. Oh my, you cannot be serious. Oh, and he's gonna cause an accident, and we're under caution. Oh my, good lord. Good lord. I give up. First it was Nathan Smith, now it's Tyler Reddick. I give up. I give up. You guys win. I'm cooked. I'm so sorry. It was Nathan Smith, now it's Tyler Reddick, and whatever. I don't even, I'm so lost after that. Davis had a terrible pit stop. Davis had a terrible pit stop. I think we've got some cars roll the dice here. No, Max Davis just had like the worst pit stop of his entire season. Because he's going to get out. Oh, my goodness. Oh no, Williams had to come back down pit road. Oh no! Oh! Well, I don't know if Logan Williams was avoiding somebody or trying to come back down pit road. Made a late error, and that's going to cost him his race. The commentator cursed Tyler Reddick. The whatever just happened to Logan Williams, and we're under caution, and this time it's Blaine Keys leading. This is not a joke. Jamie Chadwick, Christian Lundgaard, Denny Hamlin, and Nathan Smith. However, Cam Waters, Max Davis, Nicholas Samadillo, Matt Tuck, Kyle Kirkwood, Brandon Perez, David Malukas, Stuart Gratton, and Ludovic Charette are all lined up behind second through fifth. So this is going to get interesting here. Hamlin, Keys is in an interesting spot here. If he can get a good restart, he's got a quick race car. He definitely can go out there and potentially gap himself some space. We're really close on the fuel window, by the way. We are going to have to keep an eye on that. Everybody pit. I don't think they're going to pit again, but they're going to be really close. Keys gets the jump. What does Hamlin? What does Smith? What do Waters? Tuck? Already jumping down the inside those. Tuck in the 54. Samadillo stuck to the outside. Grat makes it 3 wide. Thought about making it 3 wide on Lucas. Thought better of it. Charette's going to get stuck on the outside here for a moment behind Kirkwood, who stapled into her inside. Tuck is moving his way through the field here, though. I think the 54's got the fastest car on the racetrack, which makes this important if you are Blaine Keys to just get out there and put as many fast laps as you can, because the 54's moving. The 12 Max Davis, I think, is just going to dial it right in and follow him wherever he goes in his footsteps. And now he's bringing Malukas, Perez. Oh, Tuck slipped up. Tuck slipped up for a moment. Almost gave Davis the opportunity, but the 54 to the inside of Hamlin. Keys is not pulling away like he needs to here. Keys really needs to build a gap here, and he is not building a gap. And there's 5 hungry horses. Uh-oh. Malukas is going to take a 3 wide on Davis and Hamlin. Careful, boys. Careful. Don't want to end the day on the record. Oh, they're rubbing fenders down the back straightaway. See, here's the thing for Blaine Keys. This is why you need to build a gap as fast as possible. No disrespect to the 92 and the 66. It's awesome to see them up here, especially the 66 for the pace she's had the past few weeks. But this 54, 21, 6, and 12 are going to catch them, and they are going to eat them alive. Look what they just did to the two Tricon Toyotas. I mean, the Pacific cars, I think, are a bit better than the Tricon Toyotas, but they're not that much better. And Hamlin and Smith just got eaten for breakfast here. You can see Tuck and Malukas are flying. Waters in the footsteps, so is Davis. Hamlin, I think, is the interesting one to watch here in some of these out-of-position cars, because I know Hamlin's got a good car. We know Hamlin has a very good race car here. He's clearly showing that here today. Tuck's pace, so he's starting to slow up just a little bit. So I wonder if he's catching some of that dirty air off the back of the 92, because he slides up the racetrack here, opens the door for David Malukas. Malukas, who does have a win on the season, did it at Dover. Going for his second win of the season. Waters gets to the inside of Tuck, so Tuck's got to get back down to the bottom here quickly and get this train back going in the right direction here. Does not want to lose too much time. Getting stuck on that outside. What a race we have going on here today, folks. Cam Waters now, he won at South Boston earlier in the season. He comes into this race 117 points behind Braden Perez. Oh my goodness, Smith and Dorn up into the fence, and Perez goes around, and there's the big one. Oh my goodness, just as we talk about Braden Perez, he ends up in a multi-car pileup. The caution is back out here. I think Perez, luckily for him, got the better out of that pileup, but... well, good news. Everybody can make it on fuel. So that's good, right? Like, we should not, unless something insane happens. I think we just got out of the strategy bubble race. How did Matt Tuck get by 3 cars in the lap? I totally missed that. We're watching Perez, and that mess that just happened there with Gisbergen, Byron, Pin, a bunch of cars torn up. Newgarden, Zilich, I think, has some damage. So Ward's staying out? No, Ward's lap down, so he's been out. Well, Blaine Keys, you were that close at Kansas. Didn't really have a car at Monza. We didn't expect Keys to perform great at Monza. Davis is definitely the better road racer on that team. But slap 4 tires on her, and let's find out what Blaine Keys can do. Oh, Davis kind of got boxed in there with Newgarden coming into his pit. Keys should win the race off. Ooh, careful. Ooh, did Tuck just beat the 66? Tuck might have beat the 66. And Braden Perez got lucky, sort of. Got lucky, kinda. We'll take a break here. We'll come right back. Oh, no, he did it again! Well, here we go. Nathan Smith and Rogel Dorn. I mean, Nathan gave Dorn the bumper heading into the corner, and then these two are going to smack the piss out of that wall. And then you can watch Perez there. He checks up, and Jack Haas just plows right through him. Bang goes Smith. Bang goes Haas. Zilich checks up. Everybody doing the boogie to dart across the lawn. Webb, SVG, Byron, Pin, Perez. There's some big hitters in this accident here late in the going, taken out. Everybody just scrambling across the grass here to avoid getting caught up in this accident. We're going to get restarted with inside of 30 laps to go. Matt Tuck is moving his way through the field. Blaine Keys obviously out of the race now. So Matt Tuck versus Jamie Chadwick on the restart. I don't know. Waters, Malukas, and Charette are also all close, so we will see how this plays out here to end this race. If we can end this race under green. Well, in the wild and wacky in the Wild West Stock Car World Cup 5, we've now watched 2 drivers today been into the tire barriers at the front of pit road. Both championship contenders. not entirely sure why. We'll have to look into that for future coming back here to Richmond. I don't know if we're going to use this version again because I feel like this version brings out some wild stuff. I want to highlight Matthew Huber. He's 15th. That's a great job. By the way, this car has not really been updated at all. Team Impul not coming back next year. It's heavily reported that is Matthew Huber's ride for next season. The Gentleman 23 Mustang at Grattan Autosport. So Huber's carrying his weight here today. Blomqvist is up here. Roman Dorn has somehow managed his way up here. He was just in the accident, but it's Jamie Chadwick leading the race. I don't know for how long she's going to be able to hold off this 54. Charette 3 wide here. Davis and Waters quickly getting around Rogal Dorn. Good. So had a long green flag run here. We're closing in on 25 laps to go. Tuck in the 54. It's shaping up if Tuck gets by the 66 here really quickly. It is shaping up to be Tuck versus Charette here. Tuck, Charette, Malukas, McLaughlin, and Waters for the win here, but you never know. Oh, you can just see the 54 roll the corner so much better than the 66. Down the inside, though, Chadwick got a little bit better run down the straightaway. Tuck's got to go, though. He sees his teammate, Ladovic Charette. She's already back around the 92 with Lundgaard. Uh-oh. Davis, careful, buddy. Careful backs, Davis. Alrighty. It's Tuck. It's Charette. It's Chadwick. Finding herself up here again in another late race fight. I don't know for how long though, because Ladovic, Charette, and Matt Tuck have been on their A game today, and I think Charette's going to quickly dispense of the 66 machine. Ooh, she got stuck behind Tuck, or she got stuck behind Chadwick though. Going to try and use a little bit of the bump and run. Working so far. Chadwick's not holding up the field too much. Waters to the inside of Malukas. Can Malukas get back down to the bottom to cover off Lundgaard? No. Yes, he can. Sam Dio's up here in the top 10 again. We see Charette finally got to the inside of Jamie Chadwick. So it is Charette versus Tuck at the moment here. Looking to end the Grattan Autosport winless drought here. And take advantage of a missed opportune day. This was not a bad day. The pace was there for the Red Bulls, but mistakes creeped up. And not for nothing. I mean, you got to tip your cap to the 54 and the 51. They had the lead race on lockdown heading into the first pit cycle. Got thrown out of position, and 50 laps later, they found their way back up here at the front of this field again. And if this race stays green, I think it's probably going to be these two. Although Chadwick is putting up a hell of a fight the past few weeks. Job on the line here for Jamie Chadwick, and she has responded. Christian Lundgaard's finding his way into the top 5. He's going to hold up Malukas, which helps the top 2. Sam Dio to the inside of McLaughlin. Mayer, Rogal Dorn to the banged-up race car. Stuart Grattan. That's going to be huge for the Grattan Autosport gang and the constructors. Drew Webb is currently 26, so it might be a better day for Grattan. Braden Perez, the one thing he cannot do right now is DNF. That would be disastrous for him with the constructors with Red Bull and staff racing, but top 2 are starting to pull away here now. It is Matt Tuck, it is Ladovic Charette, it is Cam Waters. 3 drivers who have not done a whole lot the past few weeks. To be completely honest with you guys, again, and it's not a knock, the Red Bulls have stepped up. Max Davis has been incredible. I think Davis, if not for some bad pit stops here, I think he'd have a shot for 4 wins on the season. Same with Braden Perez. You know, if he didn't get caught up in that spin, maybe today would have been his day. Connor Zilic continues to work his way through the field. Malukas down inside of Chadwick. Waters is catching. When we take a look at the lap times here, Waters is a bit quicker. Waters is quicker that lap than both of the Grattan cars, so hold on to your horses. 865, 886, 739 again, so it's not over. It's not over. Tuck's pulling Charette. but Charrette's not gapping Waters, and Waters is just hanging around here, so you're on for a Ford 1, 2, 3, 4 at the moment. But what order are they going to come home in? I don't know. Joseph Newgarden is going to have a shot to race his way into the top 10, which would be monstrous for RFK and the Constructors. 15 laps to go here. Cam Waters. Oh, here he comes. Now, he lost 2/10 that time to Matt Tuck. But he was a lot faster than Ludovic Charette that lap. So we're going to see. Does Waters have one in him? Can Waters end the Ford's little drought, or kind of drought they've been on here? 9.45, 8.51. Oh. Now, Charette did dial it back, was a little faster that lap. So I think if you're Ludovic Charette, you might not want to think about the win here. Maybe fight the 6 just so you can get your teammate, or play defense here and help your teammate out. Tuck opens the gap a little bit up that lap. And you can see Waters is driving it defensively here. He can't go on the attack like he wants to because he's got to be careful of that 51. Nicholas Sanbadillo's driven up to 5th. Hats off to Nicholas Sanbadillo here. I mean, the whole past 6 or 7 races here, you know, we talk about the drought with the Fords, but it started in Montreal when the Audis brought a bunch of upgrades, and we saw the pace of Sanbadillo and Chase Harris, and we've seen it over the past couple, like, we saw some laps led it, a good qualifying run at Kansas. Yeah, this is what Matt Tuck likes to see in the rearview mirror here, as he's looking to become a 2-time Richmond winner. As he's looking to become a 2-time Richmond winner and the winningest driver, by the way, in the series. Forgot to mention that. So a little side note here. That's 12 wins for Tuck, 12 wins for Charette. Winner here, if it's one of them in the next 8 laps, becomes a 13-time Stock Car World Cup winner, which is the all-time record. And again, also another record, if either of them wins, they are the most drivers, or they have the most 3-win seasons of anybody at 4 3-win seasons each, or at 4 3-win seasons. Charette's back around Waters. I think it's going to be a Grattan 1-2, depending on how this plays out here. But yeah, real quick, I mean, Jamie Chadwick, you got to tip your cap to her. Rogal Dort's driving the absolute piss out of that 11 machine here. You see Stuart Grattan's up here fighting with Joseph Newgarden for that last top 10. So 3 Grattan cars in the shot for the top 10 here. Max Davis, 11. Good day for him in the title fight. He'll beat out Braden Perez. Drew Webb's got a shot to... Oh, he's a lap down, so he can't, but... Rogal Dorn, a great day. Christian Lundgaard, Jamie Chadwick. Awesome days here for these drivers. Gap comes down from Tuck to Charette that time by. But yeah, Sanbadillo, the past couple races, you've seen him, you know, ever since Montreal, he's in the top 5 at times. He's leading laps. He's clearly got a car that is capable of... They found something in that 79 in that Audi camp. And there's reports we could see 4 or 5 Audis on the grid next year, so... won't spoil too much there, but there's definitely some talks of the Quattro gang is going to be growing. We might see Quattro Audis on the grid next year, which would be awesome to see as this grid expands OEM-wise. Some more German presence. McLaughlin continues his great run he's been on here. Lundgaard, Dorn, Grattan, I think, is going to have a shot to get that top 10 and get 3 Grattan cars in the top 10, which is huge in the Constructors. Not a guarantee to out, or they're not going to make up all the gaps of the Red Bulls, but the opportunity presented itself to make up some ground today, and I think they're going to make up some ground because they're going to probably, if everything goes good here for the next 2 laps, they're going to come home with the win. Slow car Dorian Pin. That'll be all she wrote for Pin. Uh-oh. Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no! Ludovic Charette down pit road. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh. 17 Smith is down pit road as well. Oh no, the 51, the second time in the past few races that she's run out of fuel. That is heartbreaking for Ladovic. Well, it's not the day that I think Grattan Autosport was hoping for, that it was going to be 2 seconds ago, but it's a day that's going to get this team back on track here, and Matt Tuck's going to power his way to victory here in the Virginia is for Lovers 400. It's a Ford 1-2-3. First time we've said that in a while. Nicholas Samadillo, a best finish of the season, a 4th. McLaughlin 5th. Chadwick 6th. Dorn, Stuart Grattan, Mudgard, and Newgarden, your top 10. Award, or Davis, Perez, Block. Shred only comes home in 21st. That's going to kill their chances of catching up in the Constructors. Cam Waters gets the fastest lap of the race. That is so unfortunate for Ludovic Charette. Yes, guys, I'm biased. Ludovic was about to have a great finish. I'm now sad. But yeah, that's it there from Richmond. That was a Matt Tuck very, very strong performance here today from Matt Tuck in the 54. That machine was well back on track to what we have seen out of them. I mean, Ludovic Charette also. Ludovic Charette had a great day, and that was good to see, I think, from those two Mustangs, to see them back up fighting and leading at the front of the field. They've brought a few updates later end of the season. They brought a few updates, you know, trying to see if they can catch up to the Dodges and the Red Bulls who have really pulled on them. And that's across the Ford camp. I mean, you saw the Ford camp as well looked much stronger here today than they have throughout a lot of this second half of the season. So there's clearly a lot more to look forward here for the Ford camp. The Toyotas look really strong too, by the way. Lundgaard was up there. Jamie Chaddock's been fast. Nicholas Samadillo. I think you have, or Tuck's probably going to go driver of the day, but Samadillo, you got to tip your cap to him. He's been doing fantastic stuff. But, I mean, 19 cars on the lead lap. Crazy result here. Crazy stuff here at Richmond. That is all here from the Virginia is for Lovers 400. It was wild. It was wacky. I know it was a longer race than normal, but it was a fun race. I mean, we got to see some crazy stuff happen here today that really changed the complexity of this championship. Braden Perez, 12th. Top 3, though, are all chasing him in the points. It's going to get closer, folks. This championship fight's not over. This 311 of Shane Van Gisbergen, he's got to be careful. It's going to start to get a little dicier for him down the coming weeks. But next week, folks, we are... I don't even remember where we are going next week. Next week, we are on either Friday or Saturday night from Bristol for the Tsunami Sea Bristol night race. So another short track coming up here. Grattan Autosport, fresh off a 1 short track win. They're going to go and run down the road here just a couple hours away to Bristol Motor Speedway and slinging around the high banks of Bristol for the Bristol night race. And then we'll be back on AG the Channel the week after that for the Coca-Cola Georgia 500 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. If you've been watching AG the Channel and saw the Atlanta race a few weeks ago, boy, we're going to have so much fun. And then Pocono, All-Star Race, also on AG the Channel. And then we're going back to Colorado. So Grattan Autosport, Grattan Autosport, RFK, Team 29 United are sitting there thinking, ooh, this is our track run here coming up over the next few races. Thank you, though, for tuning in today, ladies and gentlemen. From Richmond here, congrats to Matt Tuck and Grattan Autosport on securing the victory. We will see everybody next weekend in Bristol. Till then, so long, everybody.